I'm actually behind the microphone to say thank you. I was born in an unwed mother's home. I get the phone number from my birth mother, and I'm crying on my side saying, I have a great life. Thank you for letting me live.
But my mom did something incredibly brave that day. She made a choice against the advice of her doctors, against the pressure of her own family, and she chose life.
I stand before you today on behalf of our nation's unborn children. Children, let me remind you, with heartbeats at 6 weeks, with fingers and toes at 10 weeks, and with the ability to feel and react to pain as early as 12 weeks.
Today, doctors perform prenatal surgeries and treatments to save lives. He said doctors can perform surgeries on 20 different organs. That wasn't possible in 1973.
4 decades later, our medical capabilities and understanding is far better. And with incredible advancements in modern sonograms and imaging, there can be no doubt that a child in the womb is a living person deserving of life.
I watched for the last 40 years as abortionists have targeted my race. Over the last 40 years, my race has remained silent, as abortionists have murdered close to 20 million of our children. This equates to 40% of the black race exterminated by a multi-billion-dollar death industry.
Years ago, I, like many women, suffered a miscarriage. And not the loss of a generic cluster of cells, but an actual baby who would have been about this size.
And the bipartisan partial birth abortion ban which protects children from painful... My wife's 6 months pregnant. Sorry.
Tonight, I'm back to fight for the rights of the unborn as Democrats attempt to push through another item of their radical pro-abortion agenda.
Democrats have introduced the Women's Health Protection Act. However, we know what this piece of legislation really should be called, the Abortion on Demand Act.
One of the darkest, most brazen, most extreme bills ever brought to this floor. It would legalize on-demand abortion until birth. It would remove nearly all pro-life protections for the unborn.
But the underlying bill would be more aptly titled the Women and Babies Health Endangerment Act, as it eviscerates state pro-life laws that serve to protect women and babies from dangerous and discriminatory abortion procedures.
At any time during a pregnancy, even until birth, Democrats want to allow abortions, and they plan to finance it with your tax dollars.
The bill's entitled the Women's Health Protection Act, but nowhere the purpose, does the bill state, does it even mention women or their health?
Does anything in this bill actually have any reasonable health benefit for women? And the answer is no.
This should be called the Destruction of Unborn Babies at Any Stage of Development Act.
This legislation would legally enable the violent death of unborn baby girls and boys by dismemberment, decapitation, forced expulsion from the womb, and deadly poison for any reason until birth.
It's about handing the anti-unborn baby industry a victory it has sought for many years.
To allow abortion providers to perform an abortion for any reason at any point in a pregnancy.
It is barbaric, and it must be stopped.
I'll be voting no on the Abortion on Demand bill. And let me tell you, when I do, I'll be thinking of all of the precious lives that have been saved through the very pro-life protections that this bill seeks to overturn.
I hear us talking about our rights, but what about their rights? Don't they have a right? Because they have no choice. So thank you for being their voice.
I can't imagine why anybody would intentionally deny a precious child taking those first beautiful, beautiful breaths of life, the very care that would keep them alive.
There will be children enrolling in elementary schools laughing and smiling because someone took a stand for the voiceless. God bless these children, God bless their mothers, and God bless America.